Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-352-1609. That's 1-800-352-1609.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 52security.com. That's the number 52security.com. 52security.com. Go to 52security.com.
Hurt or injured in a car accident? It can be hard to take the proper legal action after a car accident, but waiting can cost you more. The law requires car accident victims to assert claims promptly. You could lose out by simply waiting. Call 800-709-4667 right now to see what your claim could be worth when handled by a skilled attorney. With a lawyer fighting and speaking up for you, you could be entitled to a big cash award. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Now it's fast and easy to connect with the legal help you need after your car accident. Call 800-709-4667. The call is free, but you need to act now before time runs out on your claim. You need a lawyer to fight for you, protect you, and get you the compensation you need and deserve. Time's wasting. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Call now.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
You shouldn't have to pay to talk to the people closest to you, or the people who used to be. That's why Umbrella Wireless is proud to announce the new Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan. Now you'll get unlimited calls to your best buddy, your mom, or Cindy, once she realizes that you're seriously meant for each other and should stop screening your calls. Now the 30 minutes of agonizing silence where you're both afraid to hang up may drain your battery, but it won't drain your wallet. And you'll get unlimited calls just to check if she still cares enough to pick up, with no extra charges. With a Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, your phone will automatically answer calls from your ex, because maybe she finally realizes that you're the only one for her and wants to get coffee sometime. Now, after lonely nights of looking at pictures of the road trip you took together when everything was great, your misspelled texts are absolutely free. The only thing you have to pay for is the booze. The Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, because she wants you back. She just doesn't know it yet.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
You know, bad opportunists are just going to be bad opportunists no matter what. They're always looking for how to capitalize on the negative. And by capitalizing on the negative, they are lining their own pockets with power and cash. The Clintons are like this. Hillary Clinton is a bad opportunist. She's not a good... can somebody tell me what have the Clintons contributed to society? You know, they've worked for government most of, the vast majority of their adult life. They've never run anything themselves other than campaigns. They've never run a business. They've never, other than Hillary being a part of the Rose law firm, I don't think they're kind of like the Obamas. I don't think they've ever really held a private job, a private company job. They've always been in the public sector somehow or feeding off the public sector. A bad opportunist always finds a way or looks for a way to take advantage of those who are trying to help themselves. That's a bad opportunist, folks. And you can look at a lot of them are in politics because it's the easiest. I hate to say it's a profession, but it's the easiest profession there is to conduct and commit a scam on the largest number of people and get away with it. Bad opportunists are always looking for scams. Now, in this state, we got one of our Republican legislators, Frank Ginta, I guess, is being called to account for some campaign spending that he did that was probably questionable and not above board. I don't know the whole story. Ginta's a Republican. But look, if the guy did something that was not legal as far as campaign financing rules are concerned, he should resign. There are Republicans that a Republican senator here, Kelly Ayotte, is telling Ginta, yeah, if I were you, man, I'd resign. You don't get that same kind of call to action from Democrats when it's another Democrat. Now, of course, a Democrat's going to say, yeah, Ginta should resign. Yeah, he should resign. Now, I don't know I don't know the full scope of what he's alleged to have done. But here's the thing, if he's not guilty, then hell no, he shouldn't resign. But if he knows he did something wrong and it was brought to his attention that he did something wrong, yeah, he should do the right thing and resign. But Democrats would never do that. Democrats would never call for one of their own to resign unless it was just so obvious. I mean, look, they're still supporting Hillary, and there's just no possible way that you should be standing behind Hillary Rodham Clinton. I mean, I don't know. We should change her maiden name Rodham to Rotten. Hillary Rotten Clinton. Somebody said we should call her Hilarious. So yeah, okay, Hilarious Rotten Clinton. I think everybody would know who that is. And somebody would probably say, Rod, you can't call people names like that. Well, look, this is just commentary. I'm not disparaging the woman, although some people think I am. I'm just saying what she has done and committed and what she is alleged to have done is just plain rotten. It's terrible. The woman doesn't deserve to be the nominee for president. Now, all of these allegations cannot be false. She's just embroiled. Look, Richard Nixon resigned for less than this. And yet this woman is she's not resigning anything, but she's seeking to be the nominee to be president. What is she going to do? Get in office and then let the scandals come out and then she's going to be forced to resign? And whoever her second in command is, whoever the vice president is she decides to be, is automatically going to be president. Look, this is not House of Cards here. We do not need to end up with a Francis as president. Okay? This is not that at all. This is what we're leading up to. Can you imagine this? This woman, by whatever possibility, gets elected, duly elected, legally elected to the office of the presidency. And then the shit hits the fan. And it all comes out that everything plus more that we've been talking about on her is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. It's all true. Everything. And then there's more doubts about stuff when she was first lady of the U.S. and of Arkansas. So now she's high crimes and misdemeanors. She got to resign. She resigns, and then she gets pardoned by whoever the vice president is. Can you imagine if that's Elizabeth Warren? I mean, or if it's maybe, I don't know, maybe she'll ask Bernie Sanders. I don't know who would actually be on the same ticket as she is, but maybe it's Elizabeth Warren, an all female ticket. Yeah, if you're going to make history, you might as well make history big time. First, not only first female president, but first female vice president, first presidential ticket, all female presidential ticket. And then, then of course she'd be the next two presidents, the first time ever, back-to-back presidents were female. Yeah, all kinds of history there if Elizabeth Warren jumps on board with this. I'm just saying. And Democrats are all about their legacy and creating history and being a part of history and being the history and all that kind of stuff. So how you can't get bigger history than that, really, than what I just said. So maybe Elizabeth Warren, vice president. Then, do you want Elizabeth Warren to be president? Anybody? Well, I'm sure there are probably some, wacko leftists in Massachusetts who would love the idea. But generally speaking, does anybody really want Elizabeth Warren to be president? Well, that's kind of a dumb question, and the answer to that is obviously for probably, I don't know, at least 75% of the American people, the answer would be no. But Hillary would be so encumbered that she would not be able to be an effective leader, and she would have to resign, and then Elizabeth Warren would, you know what, I'll pardon you. Whatever you did, we'll just drop the whole thing so you can save face and go off and with your husband Bill. And I don't know if you want to stay married to Bill, go ahead. But that's what it is, folks. She's a bad opportunist that doesn't give a rip about you or me. She's only caring about lining her own pockets and achieving power. I mean, in the last, since she's left office of the Secretary of State, what is it? I just heard today, some $51 million or something, some god-awful amount of money for speeches. It's a ridiculous amount. It's nothing more than, well, it's basically she's just taking advantage of bad opportunity. She's a bad opportunist. Plain and simple. I mean, no, Democrats I know some people are probably saying, well, Rod, the Democrats aren't the only. Yeah, look, the politicians in general, the vast majority of politicians are bad opportunists. I'm convinced of that. I just look at the actions. I look at their individual histories. The majority of them, a good number of them are bad opportunists. And it is our duty as voters and citizens to try to weed out those bad opportunists so they stop creating bad opportunity for the rest of us. And they stop lining their own pockets. Plain and, look, she's a bad opportunist. Bernie Sanders is a bad opportunist. The man is nothing more than a communist. He'll go out there and he'll explain and try to say, well, yeah, hey, you can't feed the homeless now. Well, we can't feed the homeless because who? Government says that we can't. And who's in charge of the government?